Hello, friends. Today, for our ELA lesson, we are going to listen to a story. We're going to make predictions. We're going to find the main idea, and we are going to identify and recall some details. So let's go ahead and let's take a look at the cover of this book. Um, when we look at the cover, we see the title is called Which Witch is Which? We can see that it's about Sesame Street. We can see they're all dressed alike. What do you think some of these predictions might be? Go ahead and take a minute and just think, what do you think the story might be about? Okay, so maybe you said they're dressed alike. Maybe they're getting ready for Halloween. Um, maybe, so let's put some of those down. About Halloween night, Halloween night, Sesame Street. It's about Sesame Street. Maybe it's about trick or treating. Okay. We are now going to read the story. And as I read the story, we're going to see if our predictions were correct, but we're also going to be watching and listening to see if we can find the main idea and if we can recall or remember any of the details in the story. So here we go. Which is which? It was Halloween. Listen, everybody, said Zoe. I have a terrific idea for our Halloween costumes. Let's all go dressed as witches. Zoe's friends looked puzzled. It'll be the trick part of trick or treat, Zoe explained. No one will be able to tell who's who because we'll all be dressed the same. Well, that'll be a good trick, said Grover. Right, said Zoe. No one will be able to tell which is which. Zoe, Elmo, Telly, Grover, and Harry made long black capes with pointy hats. They found frizzy fright wigs and warty noses and brooms. On Halloween, 5 witches went trick or treating. Their first stop was the Fury Arms Hotel. Trick! They said to Sherry Netherland. What about the treat? She asked. First the trick, said one of the witches. Guess which one is Grover? Sherry pointed. Is it you? No! Cried the 5 witches. Well, you sure tricked me, said Sherry, and she gave each of them a candied apple. The elephant elevator operator couldn't tell which witch was telling, so he gave each of the witches a bag of peanuts. The 5 witches tried to trick up and down Sesame Street, but no one could guess which witch was Telly or Grover or Zoe or Elmo or Harry. Their trick or treat bags were getting heavier and heavier. This is the best Halloween ever, said Zoe, swirling her cape. Harry and Telly laughed in a crackling witch way. Elmo and Grover pretended they were writing on their brooms. Their next stop was Oscar's trash can. Trick! They cried. What kind of trick? Oscar asked from under the lid. Guess which witch is Harry, said the 5 witches. Oh, that's easy, said Oscar. Let me see your feet. Oscar guessed that the witch with the blue feet was Harry. Grover's the one with the little blue feet, he said. Bright pink feet? That's telling. The little red feet belong to Elmo. That leaves one witch with orange feet, who must be Zoe. You're right, said the 5 witches. Well, grouches are grouchy and very smart, said Oscar. Now I have to give you a now I don't have to give you a treat. Oh, come on, Oscar, complained the 5 witches. Grumble all you want, said Oscar. It's music to my ears, and just remember that it's trick or treat, not trick and treat. Oh, right again, the 5 witches said, and began to walk away. Okay, wait, Oscar called after them. I've changed my mind. He disappeared inside his trash can and returned with a platter of little sandwiches. Here's your treat, he said. But first, I have a trick for you. Guess which sandwich is which? Do you have peanut butter and jelly? Asked Elmo. That's Elmo's favorite. No, said Oscar. I have chocolate and tuna fish, sardine and garlic and eggplant and prune. Yuck! Said the five witches. What's the matter? Asked Oscar. I thought witches would like sandwiches for a treat. I guess this time the trick's on us, said Zoe. Happy Halloween, Oscar, said the witches, and off they went. The end. Happy Halloween. Okay, so let's go back here. Were any of our predictions correct? Well, let's see. We said it might be about Halloween night, about Sesame Street, and trick or treating. Well, it was on Sesame Street, and they were trick or treating. So I think some of our predictions were right. So good work. And what about the main idea? Remember, the main idea is telling us what the story is um, about. So it's about, the main idea is about them dressing up all the same as witches, and they are tricking their friends. Their friends can't guess which witch is which is the title. They don't know who's who because they're all dressed the same, and they were tricking all of their friends. So that is the main idea. And what about some of the details of the story? Can you remember some of the details? Do you want to take a minute and just think about that? You can pause the video if you need some think time. I remember one of the details was that at the beginning of the story, they were all making witch costumes. And then they went trick or treating and they were tricking all of their friends on Sesame Street. And then another detail I remember is they tricked everyone, but they could not trick Oscar the Grouch. He looked at their feet and he guessed who they were. And at the end of the story, I remember that the trick or treaters, the witches, did not like Oscar's sandwiches. They thought they were yucky. They did not like those treats. So maybe you remembered the same. If you want, you can even draw a picture of your details. Kind of helps me remember sometimes. So thank you for doing the ELA lesson with me. You did a great job and I'm very proud of you. Well done.